Oh yeah, look at this one. Check out the stream.
Let's see.
No, back home already. I didn't realize.
Yep.
Nice.
I like that.
Thank you. All right.
Look at that. Volume is good right away. Oh, it's a Gamecocks jersey. I didn't realize it was a Pats jersey. Is it new?
Nah, someone left it at my place. So I just
Oh, that's
took it.
huge.
Yeah. I feel like I gotta get a hat too, but whatever. I think we're riding with it. Yeah, we'll ride with it. Let me send out the link. We're good to go.
Already. Oh, if I apply to be a lifeguard before January 15th, I get a free backpack.
Nice score.
Consider it done. This is probably gonna be the best college quarter that we've ever had.
Yeah, your basketball team's rocking.
Yeah. And football was, I didn't win, but it was entertaining.
No, there was a ball game. All right, let's get recording. Let me pull up the scores. Wise picks. Good to go. Should we get started with the Wise Bowl? The push of a century.
Oh yeah, I I was gonna text you about that. That was so perfect.
All right, give me a sec. Bothered me.
Wait, so does that mean? Oh my gosh, that's right.
Ugh.
Can we stop doing picks?
Yeah, no, our picks are garbage. Let's get started.
Are you betting them? Because I'm
Yeah,
getting
I'm
crushed
betting
every
them.
week.
Yes, I'm betting.
I'm getting murdered.
All right, we'll talk about
Every
it. We'll
week.
talk about it. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing well, Chris. It was a good weekend all around.
It was a great weekend for
Yeah,
us.
the Wise
The
Guys had a
podcast.
good weekend. Besides the picks, we had a good weekend.
Right.
And we'll get right into that. So, the Wise Bowl this weekend, the push of a lifetime. It should have been push of the year. Right when we bet it, I was like, this is definitely pushing. And the whole game, you felt like it was right there. Right.
Yeah, because no team ever was like in control at all. It always felt like, whoever had the ball at the end might pull it out, but it was never more than like a 4-point game, I think.
No, it was tied up to the fourth. The defense finally started clamping in on the Falcons. It was like, here comes the field goal. Here it is. And then the Bears just have to turn over the ball one more time, and the push is secured.
Well,
I was so
that's why I
nervous
made
at
the
the
pick,
end.
because the Bears, like, they can't win these games. It's
I think
impossible for 'em.
they're allergic to winning, the Chicago Bears.
They are.
Because
Which
they've
is
looked
convenient
good.
right now.
Yeah, it's fine right now. You can have yourself a
But-
top 5 draft pick, get yourself maybe a nice young linebacker. Wait. Sorry, that one's on the Ravens now. But
A receiver would be nice.
yeah, a nice receiver, maybe with that
Better
second round
O-line.
pick. O-line, yeah, they could do that at least, and they didn't already mess up previously on an O-line.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't they cut that the guy on your left tackle, Leno?
Also, I know, yeah.
And
He's
kind of
old though.
He's a little older.
He actually has been a rock on the left side.
With an offensive line, is a rock a good thing or a bad thing?
Rock's good.
Rock's good?
Or brick wall.
There you go. A rock.
What? I don't know. What's the difference?
No. Brick wall I got.
He's been a rock. A rock is like steady. Like he's always there. Not saying he sits there. I guess I see
your rock?
Like a rock just sits there. He's my rock.
Is he your rock?
Charles Leno is always there for me.
That's awesome. Cordell Patterson. He has the most NFL kickoff returns of all time. He doesn't seem like he's not one of those guys I really think of when I think of a returner, but I guess it
That
makes
was yeah, that was surprising to me because I saw the thing that was like, who you need a kick return to tie the game. Who do you take? And it was like him, uh, Josh Cribbs, Devin Hester, and I was like, the fact that we're considering anyone other than Hester is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess
I didn't
Hester
think
was
of
more
anyone.
on
I didn't think of
punt
anyone besides
returns,
Hester.
but still, I'm still taking Hester.
Yeah, I am still taking Hester. And it makes like his whole career he's been the special teams guy, but because the past 2 years he's kind of developed himself into this hybrid running back, I totally forgot that he was
Hmm.
a kickoff return guy.
Yeah, I did too. Because he wouldn't have the job that he has now if he wasn't.
No, he probably wouldn't be on the
Because when
team.
he was in no, when he was in Minnesota and
New
he was in
England,
Oakland, he was in New England too.
yeah,
Like that was his role.
and on the
It's not
Bears.
he wasn't this weird hybrid running back guy. Like he was the kick returner. That's why he had a job. So it is funny to see that because I think he was supposed to be a pretty good player
Yeah, came out of
outside of being a
Tennessee.
kick return. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird to see a guy like it just speaks to Arthur Smith's genius as a head coach.
I don't understand where you're coming up with this.
I
Arthur,
look at the roster. They're in the playoff hunt and they're terrible.
I
Like this
guess,
is the
but so
second
is
year in a
who
row.
isn't in the playoff hunt in the NFC? I guess the
But
Bears
like
now.
they're winning games.
Yeah, I guess so.
Think
Arthur
about
just,
like
I just
when
can't
we
look
did
at
our
him.
I
Can't
know.
do it.
But
He
when
needs a chin.
when we did our previews the last 2 years, we said like Atlanta is bottom 3 in the league. They're that bad.
All right, that's fair.
And this is the second year in a row, and they got worse this year.
That's true, and they are pulling out, and they're close in every game. You're right. They have a fighter's chance in every game, and I guess that has to do with good
They're
coaching.
basically undefeated, is what we
Yeah,
came up with
basically.
last week.
We looked at look at all of them. They're basically undefeated. Besides, they only actually lost to who was it? They got blown out once.
Bengals, I
right?
think they got steamrolled.
Yeah, Bengals.
That was the game that I picked them, of course.
It's the only game they actually lost. All the other ones, easily
Yeah.
could have won. All right. Anyways, so that was the put. Like I don't know about you, but they're coming up to Sunday. I was like, this. Even when I bet it, I was like, this is gonna push, and I got it right before I bet at -2 for the Bears. I was like, I'm screwed. The -2 never hit.
Yep. That's
Oh,
tough, yeah. But how perfect is a
Or, I
wise
guess,
bull
+2.
push?
yeah, exactly. We happen to agree on everything else, so it might as well. It might
Of
as
course.
well.
The one thing we disagree on it with, we tie.
Yep. All right. Let's go to the next one. You're the Vikings. Jesus Christ.
This was like my overdose.
Yeah,
I've been
this is
doing it.
definitely your
I've been
overdose.
taking the Vikings for so long. Sometimes it's like really good for me. Sometimes it just puts me in a bad state. This was the OD that put me in the
Woof.
hospital, and yeah,
Woof.
has my family saying stay away. I mean, this is like from the mood of Vikings fans from last week to this week is
Oh.
such a drastic shift.
And now
You
it's
know
like
how like
when
great
you
of an
get on-
atmosphere that place probably was, like the whole day.
oh,
like,
come
leading
leading up to the game. They're especially they're not favored at home. They're like, oh, we still get this underdog mentality. Like we're the
Yep.
better team for sure. We have something to prove. They go out there and just get walloped.
At no point was the
Was
game
it?
close.
Nope. No, this was a first quarter. You could have just turned it off. Missed nothing.
Yeah.
I
actually took
did.
him at halftime. It was like plus 1,000, and I was like, I'll throw 5 on it. Why not? And then like the first drive, like,
Might as well just burnt your money.
I don't know if it was a turnover. They punted right away. Dallas went right down and scored. I was like, oh my god, like, come on.
The
Oh.
the Dallas thing is getting ridiculous too. Just like everything, like they steamrolled them. They deserve all the praise, but it's like there's so much. They're coming out of the woodworks, like all the Dallas fans. Oh, we're back, we're back. You
Yeah.
guys thought this was, and I get it. Great win. They put up points, but man, I do not want like. I don't think they're. Do you think they're 40-piece good, or do you think this was just a bad Minnesota week?
I don't know, honestly, because Dallas, like every time they've lost, they've embarrassed themselves.
Yeah, like they just
Last week they
lost to the
blew the
Packers.
lead. They got stomped by the Eagles. They got embarrassed by the Buccaneers. Then they win these games. So like you just don't know what you're gonna get
And
with the
like they
Cowboys.
dominated every statistical category.
Right. And that's
Everything.
the thing. Like when they look good, it's like they haven't won a close game, have they? I guess
No,
the
not that
Bengals game, and that's
I
about
don't
it.
believe. Yeah, the
Um,
Bengals game. That
so
was
it's like
Cooper
when they're
Rush.
winning, they're dominating. Yeah, that's right. Put them back in.
He got dude, they were beating him so hard he got back into this game. And Nick Mullins, he got to play too.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
No, you never want to see Nick Mullins out there.
But
There's no excuses with this Vikings team.
no, I mean
This is
that can't
terrible.
happen. It's one thing to have a letdown spot. It's another thing to get beat by 37 points at home. Like that's I don't
Yeah.
think you come back from that. You can come back from like maybe even a 3 touchdown loss early in the season. Not a
No, not
37-point
this.
loss at home.
Not when you yeah, no, all their momentum shattered.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd be depressed.
and this was a pick. I like how you doubled down at halftime, but this was like a pick.
I did.
Just like just instantly knew, oh, they're not covering.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, the
Man.
spread at halftime was like 17 and a half. I was like, I could do that. And then I saw the money line and it was way too enticing. Like you never
Oh.
know, they're magical.
And it was like you already had him at 1.5. You might as well.
That's right.
You might as well. You already had him at 1.5. Oh man. Well, so let's go to another bad loss that I knew kind of instantly wasn't going to get covered. The Giants versus Detroit. That was another game. Almost
Yeah.
instantly. Boom.
Thank God the Giants are back. I mean, this is the Giants that I was expecting to see.
That's
Kind of
the
the
best way to
Lions that I was
describe it.
expecting to see.
Just ran down their throats. And they didn't
Yeah.
like the Giants, they beat him in passing yards. They almost, I guess not almost beat him in rushing yards, but they just couldn't get it in the end zone and kept turning like they I don't know, they just kept turning the ball over. Classic Daniel Jones
Yeah.
back, fumbling. God, 2 picks.
Well, and look at Barkley's numbers.
Yeah,
Like the
they
NFL is
can't have
so
that
weird
happen.
that the Lions are the one team that like somehow solved the Saquon Barkley problem.
It's the
Like he's
grit.
been
You just needed
shredding.
grit.
That's right.
And the Giants, like such an unfortunate game. They finally get Rondell Robertson going again, and out for the season. So they just can't.
Yeah.
Their injury luck is horrendous, and I mean they're winning these games that they weren't supposed to win anyways. So it's kind of a nice little spot of revenge for the schedule. Remember we were looking at this
Yeah.
Giants schedule, like, oh, what game are they gonna lose? So a nice,
I
nice
mean,
spot of
at this point, like there's a very real chance that they miss the playoffs at 7-3.
You think so?
Well, look at the standings. They've
It
got
depends. It all depends on those Commanders games.
Yep.
It's literally it. It's depending on
I
those
know,
Commanders
they're gonna
games.
be big games. But they have like Dallas, they're not gonna beat the Cowboys
No.
on Thanksgiving. They're not beating the Eagles. They're not beating the Eagles the second time. Unless the Eagles like have the 1 seed locked up in the last game of the year.
This is what happens when you don't play divisional
catch a
games till the
break.
end of the year.
I know.
Because you get just when you can beat up on all these other 4th place random teams.
Well, but usually those you can beat up on the teams in this division because they're all bad. But this year, like they're gonna beat each other up.
We got to look at. I guess they were pretty horrendous the past 2 years, but there's been the NFC Beast has been a real thing it's been lingering for a couple of years.
It's been a sleeping giant.
Yeah, it really has. It really has.
I mean, the year that the Giants were Nate Sudfeld away from winning the division at 6-10. That was like
they were all
very
terrible,
recent,
but all like I guess. You're right. They find ways to. It's weird ass division. But again, you pull up with the Beast at the late in the season. They have to win a lot of these games. And I didn't realize that
going to the playoffs.
they got the Vikings when it's not a divisional game.
Yep.
In Minnesota.
In
Their only easy game left is the Colts.
The
if that's
Colts are
even
just
an yeah,
scrappy.
which is it's if it's even a easy game by that point.
Which, if we want to move to the next wise pick,
Yeah.
me was the Eagles. I don't know what to say.
I was riding right there with you. We were
Like,
talking
it made
about
so much sense.
that's the issue. Each week it makes sense. It's like this big.
That's I have to go back to like that's the problem is I need to like rewire my brain somehow
We got to
because I
think
don't
of it
know
like
if it's
it's college basketball. That's what we got to think of it as.
what do you
Anything.
mean?
Like I feel like especially this year, I've seen so many of Ross team's tweets. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
this like
anarchy, nope,
anarchy.
just college basketball.
Yeah. So we got to think about it that way, where it's like we got to go with. I don't know. We rationalize it
Well,
too
and I
much.
used to bet like last year I would make picks and I would say like I'd make the pick and I'd hate it and we'd be like, ugh, like we don't like this one, like, but that's why I'm taking it because I don't like it because everyone else probably doesn't like it, which means something. This year I like kind of tried to do that at the start of the year, and then I was losing, so I kind of went back to my gut picks, and now I don't know what's going on.
The gut.
Now
The
I'm all
gut.
over the place.
The gut. Both of our guts cannot be trusted this year. I don't think anyone's guts can be trusted this year. You don't know what you're gonna
No.
get week to week.
So I'm gonna take the smelliest of smelliest lines next week, and we'll see if that works.
I guess it sort of worked. We'll talk about the Eagles game in it. It sort of worked with the my Panthers pick, which we'll get to. But let's
Yeah.
get to the Eagles game. They, I mean, tight game. They didn't really. They really missed Dallas Goddard. I feel like.
Mm. They had to
And
stop fumbling.
yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like they like the defense looked good aside from the opening drive. They
Like-
like stop fumbling and they're gonna be fine.
I'm trying to find the box score. There it is. All right. Yeah, they got it. And this was. It's funny if you're an Eagles fan. This is what you tell yourself. Well, last week we got that loss, and this week we got the come from behind victory. So
Yep.
they can
You
sweeten it
avoided
up
losing
however you
2 in a
want.
row.
Yes, you avoided losing 2 in a row, and I guess that does mean something. But I want you. You gotta apologize for being mad that I moved Jalen Hurts to a runner. Come on
I wasn't mad. I
now.
was just I was just questioning it.
Oh, there's no
Uh,
question. He's the number 1 running back on the team.
He, he might just be.
And it's funny they got to use Quez Watkins again. I felt like it was last year with all their bummy receivers. And
They
the
have good players. They just don't play good.
no, they don't really play good at all. Bad game
Yeah,
from
all
AJ
right. I didn't
Brown.
realize that he carried the ball 16 times.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
All
he
right,
gets it.
yeah, that's tough.
Yep.
That's a lot of carries.
It is, and that, I mean, I feel like he's clearly good enough to do it, and he could get
Mm-hmm.
it done. But a lot of these teams, they just kind of like forget about the running backs. I feel like
Oh, and
Miles
the Eagles
Sanders
are
good.
culprit number 1 of that.
Yeah, like and Boston
Like last
Scott
year,
you're able to use him.
they're like the best running team in the NFL, and they would just refuse to run the ball for
Yeah,
extended periods
Kenneth
of time.
Gainwell, I feel like he's good every time they give him the ball, but they never do. They give him like 2 carries a game.
Mhm.
Weird teams, and I feel like a lot of teams have been doing that all year, specifically with running backs.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's like think about like when you're playing Madden. I mean, that's about the extent of our football knowledge. Like sometimes you just forget to run the ball because passing's more fun.
yeah,
I think that happens with coordinators.
That's
like,
fair, but I'm not on
they
the
just get
job.
excited.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
know. But
Like
I
I'm
know,
spamming
like,
the
we're all
Y button.
people.
I
They
I
bleed
get
just
it.
like we do.
No, that's true. I spam the Y button. It's just like pass.
Yeah, right.
pass.
And just start throwing it up.
That's fair.
It's
Maybe that's
intoxicating.
what the
Especially if you have a
quarterbacks are doing.
quarterback that can run anyway. So
That's a
you
good
get your
point.
running in.
Yeah,
when
it's
you
like picking the
pass.
Ravens in Madden. Just like having the cheese option at
Yeah,
all points.
like why would you ever run the ball?
Yeah, that's true.
Just boogie out with Lamar.
So that's definitely how you'd think someone like Jeff Saturday would be coaching. He's just like, oh, he got whatever Madden instincts is.
No, well, Jeff Saturday was a lineman though, so he's probably like, we're running the ball until.
Yeah,
we
maybe
die.
even in
We're
Madden he
never
loves
throwing
running
it.
the ball. He's just like he's the opposite. He's just like, oh, I love it. Love running
Like
the ball."
Sirianni seems like a guy who would be like that. He's very
So, oh, speaking of
Very
which,
emotional
did you
man.
see? Yeah, that's a good transition. You actually had it perfectly. I shouldn't have interrupted you. Sirianni yelling about Frank Reich being fired.
I thought when he was like running over there, I thought it was just to like congratulate or like to get pumped up with the Eagle fans. I didn't realize that he was like, yelling at the Colts fans. Like, what is his
He was
deal?
going, this is for Frank Reich. This is
Yeah,
for
it's
Frank.
like, dude. I mean, I get it. You guys were friends, but I mean, they suck. Like, you kind of deserve to get fired.
Dude, he had a right to get fired. He was
I can't
starting.
wait for him to eventually get fired and just like ball his eyes
Yeah,
out
what's he gonna
at his
do?
exit press conference.
What's he gonna do? Dude, that was so stupid though.
That was really weird. Really weird. I've never seen like that. Something like that.
No, that was ridiculous. Yeah, and why are you yelling at the fans? What did the fans didn't get fired? I bet the fans thought he was a good coach.
Oh, I'm
But
sure
half of them
he
thought
was like they always liked Frank Reich.
that was so weird. But and hey, I guess he got his and it's even funnier that it was a 1-point victory. It's like, dude, calm down. Like, this is for Frank. You
Alright.
barely beat him. The guy, his replacement held you to 1 point.
Yeah, right.
What are you saying? This is for like, all right, they were supposed to lose anyways by 7. Supposed to lose by
Yep.
7.
I've just I've never seen a grown man act like that. I feel like-
No, and that's right. The
and
Eagles
it
are
worries
off.
me. Like
I'm off on
he's
the
he's
Eagles.
yeah, he's one of those guys where it's like it's fun when you're winning, but as soon as you start
He doesn't know
losing
how to handle
games
it.
or facing adversity, then it gets
Yeah.
it either like it gets old because he's the same, or he like doesn't know how to
How to
like
act.
change his energy.
Yeah, because and he loses once. Now he's back and he's yelling at the crowd like, "Oh yeah, we won again!" Like that's great, man. That's great.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not. He scares me a little bit come playoff time.
I think he should scare the Eagles fans.
Oh, I'd be terrible. I just don't trust him at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. If I was an Eagles fan, I'd be petrified. All
I'd be
right,
embarrassed.
last wise pick. One I sniffed out. I was worried about the Ravens. I realized Baker halfway through was starting. I wrote him anyways. Well, actually, I was forced to. You didn't let me change it. So, but they covered anyways. It was right by the skin of their teeth, but they got it. Baker threw that last pick. I was like,
His-
oh no, the cover's doomed.
You think this was the worst game of the year in the NFL?
If the Pats Jets didn't end the way the Pats Jets
That's right.
did, then that would have been the worst game
There were 2 games that were neck and neck for
for a long time.
worst of the year.
At the excellent score of 3-3. So do you know who's starting
Ugh.
for the Panthers next week?
Like, do you know? Or are you asking me? or
I
do you
know.
not
I know the answer.
Oh, I don't. Is it Darnold?
It's Darnold, baby. It's
That's exciting.
Darnold.
All right, who are they facing?
They're facing actually I have no idea.
The Broncos. They're
Oh god.
the Sam Darnold. You know how bad the Broncos are? The Sam Darnold Panthers are only 2.5-point underdogs for them.
Oh, god.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that is embarrassing. At the beginning of the year, if we told you that, you'd be like, "Oh, at least, 7 points." Russ on the Broncos, good defense.
Yeah.
That's a sad thing. They've had a good enough defense, and I guess they blew it this week, but still only held them to 22 points. This offense, the Broncos offense sucks though. Anyways, Panthers Ravens. Do we even want to talk about it? Or we just want to skip. Keep going.
I don't know I mean, vintage Baker performance.
Yes, classic Baker, and just a poopy Lamar. I mean, I guess he's trying his best, but I can't believe people are saying that they're still like AFC Championship favorites. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's lunacy. They're maybe like the 6th best team in the AFC.
Oh, yeah, easily. I don't think they're not better than the Bengals.
Now, I'd take Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Titans.
Oh, Titans.
6th.
There you go.
Oh yeah, of course the Titans.
All right. Let's go to the next game. What do you want to go to? I guess do you want to go Broncos Raiders? OT.
I boycotted this game and I refuse to watch it. I'll be
Why?
honest.
Why?
Because I don't like. I'm done with both of them.
I mean, that's fair enough. There's no
I guess
reason.
it was a
There's no
good game.
reason to watch. This game had no relevance. It wasn't very fun, and you hear the ending result and you're like, meh, all right. So, I guess you didn't miss anything.
I mean, I feel like I haven't really seen an overtime game this year. But other than that,
Yeah, OT. Nah,
like,
whatever. The OT's boring, anyways. I feel like.
I was watching the Steelers Bengals game and I saw it went to overtime. I was like, nope, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not watching it. I don't want to watch Russ.
No, he's terrible. Just completely bad. And I guess this was one of his best games. He still couldn't put up the points.
Yeah, I guess so.
Melvin Gordon, friend of the pod,
Sad, yeah.
cut.
But, I mean, ever since he like criticized you in the comments, his career has gone in the dump.
Yeah. Ever since he
mess with the guys.
Yeah, mess with the guys.
Find out.
The horns. They did you see he dropped an OJ Simpson reference when he got released by the Broncos?
No.
He photoshopped himself in OJ Simpson's Broncos